Alright, this section is a little bit more algebraic. We're going to look at circles inside the coordinate planes. That has our x and y coordinates we normally would set them up. And we use really two things. We use the distance formula to do this, to set this up. And so we have a general point on a circle, x, y, and we have the radius, and we have a center. And if we were to look at this in terms of a triangle, this piece here is going to be x minus h, this piece here is going to be y minus k. And if we use the Pythagorean theorem, we get the equations right there. The key to remember is that subtraction here, h and k, becomes our positive values of our center because we're subtracting for a distance. So if this is a x minus 2, the x coordinate is 2, not negative 2, as we look through this. And that's just our radius squared, which should be pretty straightforward. Alright, so if we've been given the center and a radius, we just plug those things in. That's my h and that's my k, that's my r value. So it's x minus a negative 8 squared, y minus 0 squared, square root of 5 squared. I get, it's simplified, it looks like this. So x plus 8 squared plus y squared is 5. Right? And that's going to be the equation of all the points that are on that circle with that center. And so if we look at this next one, we're looking for the equation of a circle with center that passes through that point. We haven't been given a radius, so I know the center and I know a point, and I use the distance formula to figure out the radius. So I figure out the radius, I get that the radius is the square root of 724, and I leave it like that for a second to plug my values in. And so that's my x coordinate of the center, right? That was given up here, x minus 5. It's going to be y minus 8, that's the other piece. And then when I square the radius, I get 724, and that's why I didn't worry about what this number was. I'm just going to undo that square root to get my radius squared here to be able to solve it. So you might not have a radius explicitly, but you can figure it out with a little bit of work. So again, we can graph these by giving an equation. I want to identify a couple of things. I have a center, and then I have a radius. So this is not subtraction, which means my center x value is not going to be 4. If I rewrite it with subtraction, then it looks like x minus a negative 4, and then y minus 1. So my center is at negative 4 and 1, and then my radius is going to be 5, right? The square root of 25. So I can put those points on there. 4 points are usually pretty good for this, and those are just up and down and left and right by your radius value, and then your circle looks something like that. So there's your sketch. Right? We have a word problem that's going to deal with a circle in an equation. We have a center, that's where the radio tower is, and then it goes out with a radius of 80. And so we just plug that in, x minus 6, because I have a positive 6 coordinate for my center. And then when I subtract a negative 12, I get y plus 12 squared equals 80 squared. And that's going to be the equation of my circle as we solve that.